Good evening, and welcome back to the Circle of Seekers and Sinners. As always, what is that face, Jen?
That's the fuck you face.
Okay, we're starting strong
Good
tonight. I'm just going to make a note of that on my list of things to make notes that Jen has
You
done.
threaten my several
doomed
ants
the
like every other
circle.
day. Shut the fuck up.
Hi, everybody. As always, I am Dan Pixel. I am your Lightkeeper, and I will be running this gothic horror wonderland. Not nightmare, because they're going to enjoy it, I'm sure. We're going to do a round of introductions, and then we're, of course, going to get right into the game itself. So let's go ahead, start the circle. Angie, remind us who you are.
Hello, everybody. My name is Angie, a Gonthetic on the internet. My pronouns are they, them, and I will be playing Cyril Craven, he, they pronouns.
Wonderful. Kai?
Hello, everyone. I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I am back playing Paxton Jet, who uses he, him pronouns. Everything's going great.
Everything is going great. Jen, say hello from Japan.
Hello from Japan, everyone. My name is Jen. My pronouns are they, she. I will be playing your friendly local, one of two weird occultists, named one Zephyr Green, pronouns they, them. My apologies for my voice. I am still getting over a mystery bug.
And John.
It took me the whole time to remember Konnichiwa what's up, everyone, because we've got a fan.
Konnichiwa, what's
Oh, I
up?
cursed. No, cursed.
Yamete could stop, please.
Sorry.
Choto Minuto.
Naughty the fuck?
Oh,
I am
Oh,
John
my
John.
ears.
They, any pronouns. You can find me on the blue sky at John. I am playing Althea Al Overton, she, it pronouns, who is having just the most lovely time.
and it is a lovely time here. Just a reminder that if you have not already, you can watch all of the previous episodes of The Circle of Seeker and Sinners over on Bad House's YouTube, where you can also find their many other wonderful horror supernatural projects, and Kids on the Stoop, their talk show, in which I believe the most recent episode is still up there. That is with Ambrose, Horror in Color. I have started watching it. It is quite lovely. And there are, I believe that is episode 8, so there are 7 other episodes that you need to go catch up on. So go subscribe to Bad House's YouTube. So, yeah, do that too. We have a new opener, new audio intro, recorded once again by our beloved friend Sam of Rather VO. And I hope you enjoy it, because the opening credits are going to be a little bit different. Anyway, let's get right into it and enjoy.
Why is it that we fear the dark? Is it the vulnerability we feel while wrapped in its embrace? The fear of the unknown monsters it could contain? What if the real fear within the darkness is far simpler? What if we fear it because it makes us confront something in ourselves? Without light, what remains is every vile thought, every nightmare, every last horror we both know and imagine. But these things don't exist without our minds to maintain them, unless the darkness itself grows to have dreams of its own. The Circle of Seekers and Sinners, assignment number 6271, Heart of Darkness.
We're off to a great start. The last time that we left off the Circle of Seekers and Sinners, they had managed to survive the horrors of the Devil's Well, a Eon's research laboratory in which the contaminant, unnamed, caused a series of aggressive infections in many of the dead aboard it, turning them from corpses into hungry, shadow-mouthed husks. On top of all of this, while trying to escape with the scientist Dr. Avery Choi, both a member of Candela and of Eons, they discovered that they were even less alone than they thought, as the monster that had haunted Paxton Jet since Schrader Street was down there as well. But not a normal monster. A human once. A friend of Althea Overton's, from her unit, the Longsworth Bears. Saving themselves, and in some way saving Mahala's soul, the party did not manage to escape entirely unscathed, with several of them taking new scars. But in the process, attaining the perfected adjuvant and destroying the laboratory and all of the corrupted bodies and souls within. When they returned back to the fourth Pharos, they confronted Anran, their Lightkeeper, and father of their former Lightkeeper, Anran Song. Amaris's spouse, one Dr. Viridian Lane, not once but twice cold-clocked General Anran Song, and told him in no uncertain terms that if he ever came near Zephyr again, she would kill him. And while our players are remembering that, we're going to begin not with them tonight. Instead, we're going to begin somewhere else. A manor of sorts. It is nighttime. It is storming. And this manor is old. Older than anything they've ever seen. And as we move in through the gates, past cracked gilding, paint from long ago, we pass through quiet hallways, well-maintained marble, carpeting, tapestries inside. Clear indicators of wealth. The storm continues to rage in the outdoors, but it's muted against the outside of this building. We see a man walking up the stairs, a small candle in his hand. Unperturbed. He passes by several doors, checking to see that they are closed. He makes his way to the end of the hallway. He stands at a window, looking out as the storm rages, rain battering against the glass. As he stands there, he looks back away from the window. It could have been a thunderclap. But he's sure he heard something else. He begins to walk back down the hallway. And as he passes by a column, a hand reaches out from behind it and latches on to his jaw tightly. He begins to scream, but before he can, a large shadow breaks out from that corner and envelops him. We see a different candle in a different hand, this one nails painted dark black. It passes by a series of bookshelves. We pull back and we see a woman. Stern, sharp features, high cheekbones, and her hair pulled up in a tight bun. A lightning strike illuminates her face, which is searching for something in these books. She stops. A sound comes from the door, and she turns back, and standing there is a figure that many of us have seen many times before. Middle height, blonde hair, bright emerald green eyes. But there's something wrong with her eyes as well. The sclera are not white, they are pitch black. And as we see her come in, we see just the faintest bits of blood on the corner of her mouth. We see the face of this first woman with the candle soften, say, now, come here. The figure in the door, the blonde woman, walks towards her and stops in front of her. The woman with the candle reaches up, wipes the blood away from her lip. That's better. Mind your manners, doctor. And smiles, turns back to the bookshelf. Her finger passes over several books along the spines until finally she stops on one that is yellowing. Not the pages itself, but the binding, the cover. It's like this goldenrod orange, but so faded and old, like it's been exposed to sunlight for far too long. That lone finger hooks over the top and pulls it out, catching the book. She holds the candle up to it, and we see, now, from the perspective of the ground up, shadows hitting her face. And a smile breaks out again. One step closer. Come, Doctor. More to do. And she sets the candle down and blows it out. And our scene moves. Al. It's been a few days since the Devil's Well. What are you doing? Where are you?
All is, I think, in the, what do we call it, our chapter house.
Mm-hmm.
And Al, I think, has been a little bit all over the place. I think there has been, like, over the past few days, the normally taciturn Al has, like, an even bigger storm cloud over its head, right? And, like, I think most pleasantries are met with a glare and a grunt before, like a stomping away. Like, not, like, I hate you stomping away, just sort of like, everything in the world is terrible, I'm miserable, don't talk to me. And so I think a lot of her time has been spent drinking and working out.
Two things that historically go very well together. I would say it's probably, how early does Al get up with that kind of...
Ooh, it depends on the day. I think these days it kind of wavers on how much she drank the night before. Because if it drank heavily, then you're looking at noon, 1. If it drank lightly because it drank too much the night before, then you're looking at a relatively early, like, sort of regimented morning. I think we're sort of oscillating between them. So which day would you prefer it to be? Late or an early day?
Let's say it's been... I don't want to choose between the two, but I will tell you that it has been, let's say, 3 days specifically since the Devil's Well, and I'll let you make that call.
Then
rather
think
than
today,
try and give you something too specific.
Yeah, then the first day would have been heavy, then light, so heavy. So it's a heavy one, so we're waking up late today.
Waking up late? Okay.
Yep.
So it's probably, the sun has long been in the sky when you trudge out of the room that was formerly inhabited by a Circle member, Professor Abigail Davies.
Mm-hmm.
you still haven't heard from. Rhyme and Reason are both pawing at the door. They would like to get out and explore the chapter house, and they need to be fed,
Yep.
among other things. You have a bit of a headache, I would imagine, despite being... I won't say it was a sleepless night, but given that it was a heavy night of drinking, I'm going to say that this one was particularly... If there were dreams, I don't think Al remembered them.
Cool. Then, yeah, I will open the door, let the cats out, trundle down to the kitchen, feed them, and start making myself coffee. I will also, notably, I will be drinking water first.
Be responsible at some point, right? I don't know if at any point in the days since you've given yourself the time to think about it. But every now and again, something just creeps back into your head. And it's one of two things. It's either Mahala's ruined eyes looking at you, turning from red back to their normal brown in the last moment before you lost consciousness. And there's the one in your nightmares that just kept happening. The night that everything changed. And finally the shadow having a face. They pop back into your head unbidden during your early morning here.
I think there is a... As the face appears, the face of the shadows, I think this, as Al is, grumbling, slowly moving around, get everything in order, I think there's just a reflexive punch into directly in front of it, into the wall, the fridge, something. And I think just the and then the and shaking the hand, really not a great start to the day.
Not on your mind all the time. A series of raps hits the front door. Sharp. Quick. Like not a hand, like something else, something like an object.
I am going to look around to see if anyone else is around, and if not, I will make my way to the door, most begrudgingly.
I don't know if you've seen anyone near you, but is anyone else at the chapter house this day?
Oh, it's been 3 days, you said?
Yeah.
Maybe around noon, yes.
I'm almost certainly
Somewhere
perched on the
lurking.
roof.
Fair.
Zephyr's on the roof. Sun is... Well, not sun. It's still a bit overcast. But I think Zephyr likes it that way anyway, when it's daytime.
Yeah.
Cyril, are you here as well?
Cyril has been oscillating between the red lamp and the chapter house over the past 3 days. But let's just say that they're at the chapter house this morning.
Okay. Who gets to the door first? Al or Cyril?
I think Cyril hears the knocking, and they probably start going down. But more than likely, as they're going down the stairs, they see Al coming into view.
Yeah, in which case I think Al will see Cyril, and go and open the door.
You see a gentleman on the other side, very well dressed, as you open the door. He has a cane with a metal tip and just has been clearly rapping it against the door. He has one hand in a very fancy sort of blue waistcoat and on a fairly large top hat. His hair, blonde, and well kept, if not little curled at the end. Like it's like he started to gel it back around the sides, you can see, but then at the end it refused to behave anymore.
Mhm.
He goes, good morrow.
I think Al just stares blankly.
How can we help you?
Goodness, I'm bad at this. I was given this address. I have need for help.
What's your name?
He reaches up and takes off his hat. Cooper. Thomas Cooper. At your acquaintance.
Thomas Cooper. Does that sound familiar?
I'd say no.
Okay. I think
Going
Cyril.
to- oh,
Oh, I think Cyril comes down the last couple of steps and kind of stands to the side of Al.
I asked, through some people, there's been an incident, and the periphery has closed their investigation, and the OUP won't tell us anything. But I there's been a death, and it isn't normal, and I need help.
Who told you to come here?
I don't. Someone that I know said they would talk to someone, and they came back and said that they'd been told. They told me to come here.
Does the way that this individual is speaking, does it seem earnest and honest, or are they maybe putting up a front?
Make a read roll for me.
Okay, let's see. Read! I know how to do that. I'm just gonna do the one. I'm not gonna spend any drive on that. It's a 6.
It's a 6.
Yes!
They are earnest in their request. There is something that they appear to be trying to, like, what you are well trained in picking out liars. It's a little clear that he knows something more than he's willing to let on, but his request is genuine.
I think Cyril sort of leans against the door frame, arms crossed in front of them, and takes a look over at Althea, and then takes a look at this gentleman, and their eyes come up and down as they just scrutinize them. I think there's a certain level of trust that needs to be provided. You are a stranger who has come knocking at our door. If you can at least provide a name.
Very well. I see. I'm not good at Cloak and Dagger, but I was told that you preferred Cloak and Dagger. I've never really interacted with Candela before.
And then looks over at Al. Oh,
I'm
that's
not.
one name.
Yeah, I'm not particularly cloak, more dagger myself. The name of the person you spoke to, or the person who died.
Right. Well, I can see that if this is not going to get much of anywhere, the person who I spoke to would be someone very close to me, a very dear friend, but the person they spoke to is the name that I think I was told you would recognize. I was said not to say it. It is a General Song.
Heavy eye roll.
Yeah,
I did receive warning that might be the reaction.
Yeah,
Come on
which
yeah. Al steps aside and gestures in. Is like it would have been
Come on
easier.
in. Yeah.
Lead
come on
with
in,
that
fancy
next time.
man.
I had gotten direct instruction not to. The message was, well, you all. I don't understand. Thank you. And they step inside and they like clack their shoes on the door just to like knock off riding dust or like walking dust. And they come inside and their hat is underneath their arm with their cane.
I think
Thank you
without
for welcoming me into your home.
I think without even mentioning anything, Cyril grabs at their hat and then also starts grabbing at their coat and removing it, just as a way to see. Is essentially as like doing what one does when people come into a home and make themselves comfortable, but they're doing it so abrasively and quickly because they just want to see what this man's reaction is going to be.
He is just floored. He's like, oh my goodness. That's okay. Very well.
Then walks over to a hat rack and a coat rack and just kind of like puts the items there.
I see. Thank you. Thank you. That's I'm not used to this sort of thing.
All hospitality.
You got coffee in the kitchen, Al?
Working. Al will head back to the kitchen.
I'll go grab the rest. Cyril goes up the stairs.
Yes. Thank you. This is greatly appreciated.
I think Al actually just leans out the kitchen window and is like, Zephyr!
And I think there is the faint sound of a thud from upstairs that you definitely recognize as Zephyr swinging back in through the window. And about 15 seconds later, the sound of footsteps coming down the stairs. As they come down, hair carefully arranged in front of their forehead, as always, takes one look at this thing, and just, new Lightkeeper?
What's a Lightkeeper?
Oh, thank God.
Okay. This has been a bizarre morning. As I say that, Rhyme has come downstairs and is just sort of like sitting at the bottom of the stairs, and is now staring at this visitor. Just like, you know how like cats will like stare at something? Like they're just 1,000 yards staring. Thomas like reaches down and like goes to try and pet Rhyme, and Rhyme just like doesn't make a sound, just like moves out of the way, and then goes back to sitting and staring. He tries again, and Rhyme just like does the exact same thing, like not even like rolling over to be pet or anything, just like moving out of the way, like they're liquid, and then just like staring.
Yeah.
No noise, just staring.
Is this something that Rhyme has done before with anyone? Like, what is the body language there? Wariness? Is it like, it's obviously not hostility because Rhyme is a cat, and
Rhyme is like, you've seen Rhyme get a little like scared of like thunderstorms and things like that. You're not seeing that kind of reaction.
Okay.
Rhyme is always like pretty curious and is just sort of like has been known to zone in space, but has never really like stared at a person like this. Like I think maybe like the closest is like the first time you met Rhyme, is that they like kind of just like looked at you funny for a while and then decided that you were like friend, and then just started like rubbing their head against you after like a minute.
by any chance, was this also similar to the first reaction that Rhyme had with Pax?
Ooh. No. Rhyme looked at Pax like, you know how cats will look at something and stop walking? That's kind of what happened there. Like, Rhyme was just minding his own fucking business and just, like, was walking, and then there was Pax and stopped. Like, one paw off the ground, stared for a second, and then went back to whatever they were doing.
Okay, so it's not like he's, like, bleed kitty, okay. You know, that usually works better with a treat.
Do you have any? It's a
Many.
marvelous cat. You've got where are my manners? Thomas Cooper's at your service.
I will walk over to one of the many used bags that are in the kitchen, pluck out a small second bag, take a single treat from there and hand it to him just to see.
He holds it out. And Rhyme just doesn't look at it, just continues to stare at him.
Now what about you is more interesting than food to a cat?
I wouldn't have the slightest idea. Cats are always like this with me.
Pax!
I think Cyril was on his way to go
Yeah.
knock on Pax's door and go grab him.
In the most annoying way possible. The moment that Cyril gets to the door and like raises a hand, the door opens, and behind Paxton, you just see for a moment a like whirlwind of like notes. He's barely lived here. Like he just got here technically, and there's like a murder board amount of notes and things hanging on the wall behind him. And it is messy, and everything in there smells like gin. And he looks like he hasn't showered maybe since the day we got back. He looks dreadful. But he is pulling on his gloves, and he has like permanently been wearing sunglasses since we got back.
There's kind of like a draft of stale gin and like a little bit of other kinds of like trash and rot that kind of like wafts out as you open the door. It's rank. It's rank. And if Pax isn't nose deaf to it, could just be ignoring it, but it's pretty hard to believe that.
Yeah,
I'm a little anosmic now.
Cyril makes just like the quickest face, and then brings it all back together so that as not to be pointed out.
Is that someone arriving?
Yeah, potentially a new assignment. Brought to us by your dear benefactor.
Oh. Interesting. This might be fun. Shall we then?
And I think Cyril has, ever since returning back from that conversation with Anran, Cyril has been a little bit like the progression that the two of you, having just have met each other, but like kind of being like, oh, this is someone that Cyril had kind of felt a kinship, like sort of like a kindred spirit sort of feeling towards too. That has sort of returned back, and I don't think they've had a conversation, like an actual like.
I think they've been missing each other, actually.
Mm-hmm. Like Cyril leaving for the Red Lamp and coming back, and then yeah.
Well, and like Paxton would just be gone unannounced for long periods of time, and return with like a bag or a box or just gin. Just a wide variety of strange things, and he has not had anything consistent since we've returned. Pretty much at all.
Yeah. After you.
And he lightly, but you would know, he is definitely drunk. He very lightly steps down the stairs to join everyone as he pulls on his gloves. Company!
Yes. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thomas Cooper at your service.
Oh, pleasure. And Paxton holds out a gloved hand.
He'll take it very gingerly.
I believe you're here for aid, assistance.
Yes, yes, we're inside now. I feel more comfortable. You all come with recommendation, and an understanding of things that are perhaps unnatural.
A
shall we say.
recommendation by whom?
Well, my dear friend.
General Anran Song.
Yes, I assume you. Oh, that's that look again. My word, I.
No,
Yes.
it's perfectly valid. Continue.
He turns around and he sets the cat treat down next to Rhyme on the stairs, and Rhyme looks down at it, looks back up at him, looks down at it, eats it, and then runs up the stairs. Strange creatures. Yes. Well, I am one of many who work in the Auric Lodge across the city in Silverslip, and sometime a few nights ago there was an incident. We came in the morning, and the groundskeeper was, well, dead. Very dead. In a very unusual way.
How unusual.
It looked as though... It's hard to describe. There was a wound, yes. But there was no mess.
You're certain
was-
they weren't just left there after being killed somewhere else.
Oh, that would... I mean, it's possible. But why take him there and from the upper floor of a manor that is otherwise locked after hours?
Generally, that type of thing is to send a message, but it's hard to say without seeing the body and understanding more about the circumstance.
Yes. The body is in the Silverslip morgue. They
It was
cleared
moved.
They cleared it, yes, but we who work at the lodge, we suspected some more foul play than the periphery was willing to tell us, and the OUP did not elaborate. They took notes and left, and refused to let us know anything. You would all know these two things. The periphery is essentially like the police. The OUP is a special branch of the periphery that deals with phenomena similar to Candela Obscura. Now, the thing with the OUP is standard operating procedure for them is basically do not let information about phenomena get out and around. Like, they're basically a version of the Men in Black, right? Now, that said, Candela doesn't exactly have a hostile relationship with the OUP, but they're not necessarily like... They don't swap notes, you know? And Thomas continues. He says, We preserved as much of the scene as we could without the body. Again, it's as much of a scene as there was to preserve. There was no blood that we found. His body was rather strange, additionally. There was the wound, and then it was like... He was flattened. No.
Flattened.
Like smushed.
Like smushed.
Which way?
Crushed.
Long or tall?
Hot dog or hamburger?
I don't know what those things are. That's not me saying those don't exist in New
Nope.
Fair. That's this man has never
Yeah.
seen one.
No, yeah.
Like if you crumbled a can.
Ah, this way. Mm-hmm.
Hamburger, got it.
Dan, do I know about this lodge? Am I familiar with it? What do I have any?
Yeah, you'd be peripherally familiar with it. Just from your background.
Being
Like the
around
Auric Lodge
Silverslip?
is
Yeah.
It's just like sort of like considered a well-known library.
Oh, interesting.
And it's like generally pretty hard to get into. Like you have to have connections to get in there. It's the people who work there are considered like pretty high status for the most part.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be curious to know why someone would specifically kill the groundskeeper, but more importantly, what they're looking for.
What they're looking
Quite a
for?
repository of knowledge, right?
I mean, there's books everywhere, yes.
And books famously are devoid of other things. Knowledge. Information.
Quite, but the book is worth murdering over.
And
there's
Paxton
many.
smiles.
I can't get you into the morgue to see the body. I don't have that kind of real pull.
I've spent time in Silverslip. I'm sure we could find our way in there. I'm more interested in the scene of the crime.
Yes, well, that I can help with. I have a carriage waiting outside if you all were ready to. And he eyes you particularly hard, Pax, if you all are ready to join me.
Max, take a shower.
You both take a
I'm
shower.
ready.
I'm going to. Pax, take a shower. I pass out coffee.
Fine.
Give us 20 minutes, please.
20
of course,
minutes. How
I'll,
short of a shower do you think I'd take?
Yeah, more like an hour.
Do you mind if I sit in the lounge?
Suppose not. I'll sit with you.
Thank you, kindly.
He's gonna rip
Accepts
that.
like the coffee. Sniffs it and is Al good at making coffee?
It's black coffee. There's nothing in it.
This is this soldier coffee.
Yeah.
Right? Is it is the
par.
coffee is it like is it oil or is it like
I think it is. I'm assuming we're doing like a kettle, and well, I'm trying to think of like the technology level. It's not cowboy coffee.
Percolator. Just a like
Percolator.
yeah,
simple
yeah. So
percolators
stove
existed.
stove percolator.
I think it's
Cafetero.
actually pretty decent coffee. It's like not the best. It's like perfectly medium coffee.
He's drinking it black. He seems to thank you. This is lovely. Where should I sit? Where am I going?
I will, without a word, just kind of like, and I will lead him into whatever our. I think we only have one sitting room. I don't want to say a shitty sitting room, but like, I will lead him into our sitting room.
Yeah, your sitting room has like the fireplace in it. You were we saw you in here a while ago with your aunt, prior to her getting back together with Viridian.
My aunt.
She was there, yeah, with your aunt. She was crying over the picture from their wedding. That picture is still in there with you at like, I think 10 years old.
Baby
On the
soon.
way up
Go ahead, yeah.
I was gonna say, on the way up the stairs, Paxton takes the coffee. Thanks for the coffee, Al. It's smoldering hot, though. And is gonna take that coffee upstairs to the requested shower, and maybe not let go of it until well after.
When you step into the bathroom and you take your sunglasses off, what do we see?
Paxton's right eye is frosted over. Damaged. He's got deep bags under his eyes. The bathroom, now away from everyone, he holds onto the coffee, looks at himself in the mirror, and we see drunk tired, exhausted, actually, Paxton Jet, who has not stopped working, as around his entire room are notes, drawings, books, all now augmented from our journey to the Eon's lab in the Devil's Well. And
Some
inside,
coherent scribblings, some incoherent.
yeah, we find ourselves in the laboratory of an odd occultist with a penchant for learning, gathering knowledge, and not sleeping enough.
It's not the monster from Schrader Street that haunts you now. Not in the same way that it used to. It's dead. But now there are so many more questions that it leaves behind in its wake. As the steam fills the bathroom and clogs the mirror, we pass back downstairs to the lounge. As you enter into the lounge, you actually see Reason is curled up on the chair that Al used to sleep in. Reason lifts their head as you walk in and takes note of both of you. Similarly to Rhyme, stares at Thomas Cooper, and then just goes back to sleeping. And he takes another sip of his coffee. He's like, "Do you live here?"
We do.
And you work
Very
here?
good roommates.
Ah, roommates. Yes.
And they were roommates.
I'm sorry?
Nothing. We are... You can call us contractors.
Contractors, yes. I'll be paying for your services. Don't worry. I'm not asking something for nothing. I realize we didn't discuss that, but I figured that, I would make it clear. Let it not be said that I don't pay my debts.
Are you here on behalf of an organization or yourself?
I beg your pardon.
I simply just repeat the question. Are you here on behalf of an organization or on behalf of yourself?
Well, that's an interesting question. I'm here on behalf of the lodge, I suppose. Although I was the one to find the body, so I guess myself as well.
But you are here with the backing of the lodge.
Yes, or enough of the lodge.
Are
Some
there
didn't
those in
care.
the lodge that did not, didn't care or didn't want you looking into it? It is an important distinction when there is a murder.
I think they didn't want more prying eyes into our business, is all.
Fascinating. Names, please.
Names?
Yes.
Goodness.
Not just any names. The names were the ones that didn't want you looking into this.
Oh. Oh my.
I'm not looking to name a child or anything.
You're an odd one, aren't you?
Well, actually, there was a stray cat in the alley. But anyway, not the point.
Oh, are these strays as well?
No, they're my aunts.
Oh. And then he's like, yes, the lad who made coffee. Very. I see the resemblance.
No. No, that's not my aunt. That's my roommate.
I'm deeply confused.
Good.
Just slowly sips their coffee.
Zephyr is absolutely trying to shake this man so much.
Mission successful. He's very on the back foot. He will give you a series of names. It's more than a few. You get the sense that the lodge has like a pretty large contingency, like overall.
And were any overly enthusiastic for you to pursue this lead?
Well, my friend encouraged me, and I asked for help, and well, she gave me this information.
Name?
You are very, very tight on these names, aren't you?
Well, if I do not know who to ask questions to, the questions are useless.
Thorough investigators, I love it. You will be looking for Aurora. I can introduce you when we are over at the lodge.
Lovely. And Zephyr will just, not writing a single thing down, just all in the mind.
He's gonna reach over for that picture of your aunts and you. He's like, oh, I see now. Yes.
No, not those aunts. Different ones. A different one.
I could have sworn this child looked like you.
No, that's me.
Oh,
The cats aren't either of theirs. It's a different aunt.
how many aunts do you have?
Don't worry about it.
You motherfucker! And then we will move time along here, unless anyone else has anything that they would like to do to completely abuse this NPC that I gave you.
He's too posh for hot dogs. He can eat my ass.
I want to do something, but it's not in regards to abusing the NPC.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I give you permission to not abuse my poor NPC.
And consent has been asked to make sure for me if I can do this. While Pax is in the bath, I'm assuming like if this is like old-timey houses, there's not a bath like in the room, like the bath is somewhere else.
Yeah, it's somewhere else. It's not like attached to the room.
Yeah,
that Pax is staying
Cyril
in.
is going in that fucking room.
Okay. It smells fucking rank.
Yeah, Cyril is interested in sneaking in to see what this murder board, essentially like
Okay.
having seen the inside of it, like the small brief moment, and just like the state of Pax and the way that they're sort of carrying themselves, like the drunkenness of him, even in a situation where we're not facing dire consequences. Cyril's curiosity is just winning over, I think, at this point.
Wonderful.
And so they want to know what is inside and what all this research is.
I would like you to make a survey roll. Because you're going to be looking for things, and you are doing it on a time crunch. So survey, please.
I
Hey,
and
time crunch for Pax's hour-long shower?
Yeah.
It is a morass in there. It is. PAX has like, if whatever level that it had been being kept up before, it's just shit now.
so I have a specialty called Street Smarts.
Smarts. Okay.
Whenever I make a survey roll, I can spend any drive instead of only intuition. So
Okay.
I'm going to spend from cunning. It just seems just juicy like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a 5 and a 2, so 5.
A 5, a mixed success. Pax, what? Okay, first off, Cyril, is there anything in particular you're looking for?
I think they grab it as they walk in, and smells bad in here. Yes. The first thing they do is they open the window to kind of let the draft in.
Yeah.
And
It helps immensely. Like it just stormed recently, and it's like cool air outside, so like it just the must just travels out the window.
And then they gravitates towards the board.
Okay. Is there anything on the board in particular you're looking for?
Genuinely, Cyril does not know what Pax is working on.
Okay.
It's just that they saw the mess and they saw this it's a pattern of connection of like something is wrong with Pax, and it is connected to the way that even just his room looked like.
Yeah.
So it's more so going in to see. I know there's going to be some pieces that Cyril might not be able to read, but if there is any sort of information that stands out, I know certain things that in the past few days they have learned. The mercies, you know, stuff with the bleed, and like maybe anything on Anran.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
The consequence of your mixed success is that you're going to leave evidence that you were here, like indisputable evidence that you were doing.
Is a
this.
5 a mixed success?
Yes.
Okay.
4s and 5s are mixed successes. 6s are full
Got it.
successes. 2 6s are critical. So you will leave evidence that you were here. Pax, what is he going to find on this board?
The central part of the board, and you can kind of tell it radials out in age. But the core part of the board is a set of papers that look like they have cohabitated for a very long time. They have similar spill marks. They have old, similar kinds of ink, and the ink has aged similarly, even though more has been written on them over time. But the core of it, you might not be able to read it all, but you certainly understand drawings. And there is a proliferation of sketches and drawings, reproductions and rubbings of old fair architecture and drawings of strange shapes, rubbings from buildings, all kinds of old magic. These core thing that you do recognize that is odd, but I think having known Paxton for long enough and know enough about him now, you would see, in particular, there's a drawing, and it is strange. It is large, and it is near the center, which is a drawing of a doorknob. A doorknob that inexplicably is familiar. Like the one that Paxton pulled out of the door that did not have a doorknob in the Devil's Well. And it is drawn over and over and over again in all of these. An old doorknob. But radialing out from that, you see the scrawlings of why Paxton is here. He is a brilliant occultist. He understands magic from Old Fair, and it is everything that you see is just detailed drawings and trying to understand the magic of Old Fair specifically. It always goes back to Old Fair. And there are notes about Schrader Street and lots of things about the circle of silver and lead. Notes, reports, things that he is in his own handwriting from his previous circle. Things about the creature recently added from our trip to the Devil's Well, tied to the circle of silver and lead. He is obsessed with linking all of these things all across. And you can see places where it deviates into other studies and, you know, small cases and things that might be tied into it, but it is just a kind of visual board of the magic of Old Fair that he understands. And he is not sleeping, partly because he is obsessed. And you can see where his notes get weary, and they have been happening like this forever. There is a massive hole in which he does not talk about the Mercy Massacre or any of that such, but everything from that doorknob outward seems to be newer and newer and newer.
Dan, can I add a little bit of flavor to show how signs of Cyril remain?
Absolutely.
I think with someone as obsessed in regards to the way that Cyril sees everything, I think it will be very easy for Pax to realize that some papers have been picked up and looked at and moved. And Cyril notices the way that in some sentences at the end it just kind of trails off. That lets them know it's like he was writing this while almost falling asleep and then waking himself back up. And then particularly the thing that will alert Pax to somebody having been here is that they're going to leave the window open, at least cracked, to kind of just let the air in. And Cyril is also going to pick up whatever empty bottles of gin are in this room.
There's a few.
Yeah, and just
There's
kinda,
a few.
yeah, clean up essentially some of the filth in a. It is a measure of I know what this is like, and sometimes it's hard for someone to really notice when they are living like this, and even having just one person to pick it up for them can help. So I think it is just Cyril making that active decision to picking up the bottles and then going downstairs and tossing them.
Al, anything you're going to do during this hour?
I think Al is just showering real quick. Like, I think Al is like a 10 to 15 minute shower person. It's real efficient. Finish up coffee, come back down, and I think we'll just kind of sit in cranky silence, like right across from Thomas Cooper. Like, fold one leg over the other, lean back in the chair, and just like stare down her nose at him.
This poor guy.
He's fine.
You come into
He
my
offers
house
like
and-
a very awkward smile. Yes. Well. Yes. My word, you weren't kidding about the hour, were you?
I look over at Zephyr, like, inquisitive look, right?
I just kind of waggle my eyebrows.
And then I pull out a couple more treats from my pocket for rhyme and reason.
They come right to you. They got used to you pretty quickly. Like,
Yeah.
they were already kind of used to you just like sleeping down here and in the chair before you moved into Abigail's room. And they're just sort of like, yeah, no, we know you.
Yep.
You smell nice.
It's chill.
We trust you.
Yeah. And, I'll do, like, the bongo pats for one, and then, like, the head scratch for the other, and then send them on their way.
It's fascinating. Truly. You have a gift with cats.
They're territorial, and I'm part of their territory.
Fascinating. Pax, you make it back into your room.
Mm-hmm.
The evidence is clear. Someone was in here.
Yes, and I have a guess. This is not Zephyr's window. So, easily assessed, and Paxton gets ready, puts the sunglasses and the gloves back on, gathers a notebook that's among the massive amounts of notes and things, and I think is better dressed than everyone has seen him. It's not that he's dressed super well, but it's just like a nicer waistcoat, a really genuinely clean, like nicer looking shirt. He knows where we're going. All right, everyone. I've showered, he says, looking directly at Al.
Al just, like, gives a very simple nod, like, is neither impressed nor distressed, just, it has happened.
And And I think as Paxton just goes for the front door, you all smell that he's also wearing thick cologne.
It's
all right.
It's a little stifling, and Thomas again coughs in your presence. Yes. Right over here, and he takes you to a very, I will say, fairly large and lavish carriage. Now keep in mind that cars are technology that exist. You have a carriage.
Yes. Here for it.
He opens the door and gestures, please come inside.
You're so kind,
we'll-
Mr. Cooper.
Please, it's the least I can do for the hospitality you've shown me. Besides, might as well ride in style these days.
Hospitality.
I'm absolutely making sure I get a window seat.
That works because Pax is like, I will sit in the center.
Yeah, Al's gonna sit up front with the driver, like on the outside of the carriage.
Yeah, she's got a seat up there next to her, and she like tips her own like hat to you as you get up. She doesn't really say much.
Yep, perfect. My kind of gal.
She's older. She's like in her 50s.
Why are you trying to sell me on this?
Because I think maybe you all deserve some nice things.
You think I'm ageist? All right.
You begin your carriage ride over to Silverslip, and you all notice like the Varnish is not a ill-kept district, right? It's one that has a vibrant nightlife more than anything else. In the day, it seems a little dingy to outsiders, but you've all been in this area long enough to like kind of get the vibe for it, except maybe Pax, although maybe when you were a street magician, you found your way over here at least once or twice. Would have been a great place to. It would have been a pretty good place to busk.
Enough money, and people aren't so wealthy that they scowl at you when you look like trash. Absolutely.
Yeah. But you notice, and as you begin crossing district lines, right? You pass through South Soffit, a place Cyril is intimately familiar with, a much more rundown and rural portion. Not rural.
Dilapidated.
Yeah, thank you.
Slummy.
Scraggly.
Yeah, the buildings are in worse condition instantaneously, and you pass through there, and you see like kids playing in the street, like doing like little baseball in the street.
Yeah,
and they like get out of the way as the carriage rolls by.
For sure.
Huh?
That would have been Kid Cyril for sure.
Yeah.
Age.
And you make it through that area into the next area, and you finally find your way into Silverslip, which is one of the wealthiest areas. And it's been a while, I think, since Pax has been in Silverslip. Since leaving the chapter house of Silver and Lead.
Yeah, he's been avoiding it.
I think a memory of Julian comes unbidden to you in this moment. Maybe the two of you took a little date ride around.
Absolutely. And I think in the memory, Paxton isn't hiding in the middle of the carriage. He's sitting in the window next to Julian for the whole world to see. But here and now, he is sitting next to where he would be sat. It would be Julian by the window, of course.
Yeah.
Paxton next to him.
The time passes pretty swiftly through this well-off district. You end up at the gates of a manor and are let out. And this manor has like a wide yard. The gates themselves have gilded points, like not spear-like across the top of the gate, but clearly sharp and not easy to climb. The front gate itself is heavy, and it requires a mechanism operated by what looks like a guard inside. Not like a militarized type of guard, more like a watchman of sorts. The gate is opened, and Thomas Cooper, gestures towards the large building, which we see. It's old. This building has been here for a very long time. There's flecks of gold paint that are peeling, but it's otherwise in fairly good condition. Looks like it's washed and treated regularly. Please, allow me to welcome you into the established, well-received Library of the Auric Lodge. I'll take you to the scene, and whatever you need, please let me know. Try not to stray too far. There's a limit to what I was able to have allowed, so to speak.
We will endeavor to not strain your courtesy then.
Wonderful. And you make your way down sort of like a long entryway, up some stairs into the front door. And again, as you step inside, we see this same place that I've described at the beginning of the episode, right? This wide open hallway, a large stairway that splits into two, going up to a second level. It's expansive, and the wood is well furnished, and there's a lot of gilding in many places here. There's some people you see buzzing around, and like not a lot, and some of them stop to look at you as you all come in. And every time they do, it's like they see you, and it's like surprising for a second, and they just like sort of like start whispering to themselves and like go somewhere else. If you'll follow me up the stairs is where we'll be going. Going up the stairs. Just looks
Does
at
he
them.
appear to be talking to someone?
Yeah, like he just like kind of says it pretty loudly at the people that are like kind of rubbernecking.
Paxton smiles at everyone that just stares at them. And it's not just a like, oh, that's so nice that you're looking. There is an edge to it of, go ahead, keep staring.
None of them are close enough to really get a vibe for like what their action is, other than they scatter. You make your way up to the second level up this like carpeted stairwell. And on the second floor, you begin to pass more people close by. And you can see now at this like closer distance the handful of people you do pass. Everyone's of various ages here. They all seem to be like fairly well dressed. Some fashions are like really old. Like you're seeing some fashions from people that like went out of style probably like a long time ago. But it's like their clothes are very like well kept and very very expensive. So it's like do what you want to do with your money, right? But they all like look at you all kind of funny. Like some of them like politely smile and nod. Some of them like eyeball you, Zephyr. In kind of like a way, like a you don't belong here kind of way. It's kind of odd, and Thomas just doesn't seem to be paying attention. He's like blowing it off or whatever, and he takes you down a hallway up to a window, and there's kind of like this little like roped off area with like velvet stanchions. He's like, this is where we found the body. As you can see, we haven't cleaned it or anything. There's just not much left behind.
We'll be the judge of that.
Whatever you need.
May we?
Please. Oh yes, yeah. Whatever it is you require, please let me know.
Hey God, can I get a supernatural vibe check?
Make a sense roll.
Sure.
I'm on the same page.
Okay, sense roll from you
Vibe
two.
check with me. Let's go.
Supernatural
I would like
vibe
to
checks.
specifically extend my senses and do my weird other sight.
Yeah.
Wow. Absolute fucking garbo. You know what? I'm going to drop a drive and re-roll that.
You have to drop a resistance to re-roll.
Oh shit, you're right. Never mind.
If you drop drives, you're
I'm
like
not
adding
gonna do
dice to
that.
your roll.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, it's a garbo. It's 4.
A 4. That is still a success. That is a mixed success.
But it's garbo. It's not a 6.
Okay. Sure. It's not a 6. Listen. You look here.
Listen, we all understand the overachieverness of Asians. Come on.
Okay. Dan, speaking of achieving, for specifically extend your senses, it is to understand more about a phenomenon I've encountered. Otherwise, it's just a regular sense roll.
I'll let you have it. I could say no to this, but I am going to let you have it.
Okay. Dan's being nice or
Yeah,
ominous, and I haven't decided which.
Generosity is ominous.
Hang on. Wait, hold on a second.
I haven't rolled it. I'm holding it.
Actually, no, I lied to you. I'm sorry. I can't justify that.
No,
I had
that's
to.
fine.
I had to go through some timelines really quickly.
Nope, you're good. Terrifying, honestly. Oh, except I crit anyways. It's 2 6s.
Jesus Christ. Okay, this will be fun. Zephyr on a 4. Nothing about this crime scene hits you with any particular supernatural vibes. And it's like there's not much left behind. I will at least give you, just because it's a partial success, like as you're kind of, are you investigating the crime scene itself, or like are you trying to vibe the place you're in?
The crime scene itself, but also that extends to the place that I'm in, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because I'm also not discounting the possibility that the body was moved post-mortem.
Okay. The vibes of the place you're in are pretty normal. Like this location, it's not like you're not saturated or surrounded by bleed. In fact, I'd go ahead and say that you're probably in a space that feels like there's an absence of bleed. Like, if anything else, like this doesn't. It's not like as oppressive as like when the bleed suppression system was pushing on you. It's just like there's nothing like that here. It just feels devoid of it. Which is a little strange. Paxton, on your critical success, tell me how you are seeing, like, what is the manner in which you are trying to, like, you are perceiving the things around you, and I'm going to tell you what you get from that.
Yeah. Paxton moves past the scansions and, like, at the door frame, just grabs it with his ghost creepy hand, and closes his eyes for a moment and then opens them again, and thankfully sunglasses do not matter when you are perceiving the very fibers of magic in the universe. And he stops looking at all with his mortal eyes and looks instead with his strange vision.
Yeah.
Seeing the threads.
I think the threads feel a little clearer than they normally do. Not just because of like your role, but ever since your eye has been a little, your vision, your real vision, like your physical vision is clouded, but these threads now, like they're almost tangible to you. Like you've interacted with threads before, but like you could feel like the fibers they're made of now, and they're so much clearer to you, and you can see now what the difference is between like Zephyr the passenger and the thing from Schrader Street. Like the similarities now like seem trite. Like you see the differences between them so starkly now. The texture is all wrong between the two. Like it looks like they might have been spun from like, or they might have been dyed in the same ink essentially, but they're not the same material at all. And you already knew they weren't the same consistency, but they're not the same material. But you're going to get a couple things. The first of which is, as faint as it is, there's no immediate, like you didn't really look at it with your physical eyes, but there's like inklings of threads left behind here, like little fibers. And they are in another, again, that same similar color to the monster from Schrader Street and from the passenger. It's that color that's the similar, and it's like shed, like cat hairs almost around this area.
I see some of it kind of hanging just like in midair, and Paxton walks up to it and brushes it. And it looks like he's touching nothing, but then I think we just see a small reaction in the places that he is touching in the air. And
that's not all that you notice. Because you turn back to your circle and you say this, you get a proper look at Thomas in this moment. And Thomas doesn't have any threads. At all. There's no indication of anything like that in him. And what's weirder, as you continue to look through this area, none of the people here seem to have any threads in them at all.
None at all.
None at all. And that's odd, because even like regular people have few threads in them, and they'll be like weak threads for the most part. Not a single one has a thread.
Paxton, after kind of almost like slinking around the room, kind of walking oddly, but then again, like touching and to the unattuned, the person who is not used to his nonsense would think that he's doing like sleight of hand in a crime scene, creating just small sparks and lights, but then it stops and he stares at Thomas and past, and then using his fairly long legs quickly walks back past the scansions, and if anyone is standing there, past them, and turns around. Thomas, what's that? And points to the corner of the room and would like to try and get a glimpse of the back of his neck.
Yeah, you can do it. Very easy. He like immediately is like, "What's what? Where?" And he turns. The marks you're looking for are not there.
Interesting. I have a few notes I have to take. Cyril, if you could give me a hand.
What did you see? What was over there?
There's just an anomaly up there. I want to consult with my associate.
Of course. I'll be right here.
And Paxton goes and very quickly in the journal writes, "Everyone here is detached from the magic. Something is wrong."
Is this being shown to Cyril?
Yeah, just to Cyril. Like with the haha, I'm comparing notes with you.
Cyril who has a gun in their side.
Yeah.
It's like looks at it and looks at Thomas and at the rest of the people.
And then writes "not clones" and circles it.
I think Cyril will give Pax a nod and then kind of start meandering around just kind of the space. As the investigation continues on between Pax and Zephyr using their vibe checks, and Al also being in this room, I think Cyril is going to try and kind of sneak outside of this room to potentially maybe find something, anything that could maybe give some kind of an answer.
Okay. As you go to like try and move past, Thomas is like, "If you go anywhere else, I'll need to accompany you. They're going to be very weird about it. I actually might need to get someone to watch you here." And he like looks over his shoulder and is like, "Oh, perfect. Aurora, this is them. This is them." And you see him waving to a woman probably in her 20s. It looks like she has like very long, silky, silvery white hair, and she has sort of like muted blue eyes, like not like the same kind of crystal that you're used to seeing in Amaris or her father, for example. They're much like softer. The way she walks is like very purposeful. Like she's dressed in the same kind of finery as everyone else, and hers is also like, it seems pretty out of date, probably by like a couple decades. Like these things were like fashionable a while ago. And she comes up and she says, "It's lovely to meet you. You are from the Keepers of Light, I take it."
We're we're neighbors.
I have a quick above
Yes.
table question. Is there no way that Cyril can sneak out?
Oh, it's going to be difficult because these two are like kind of watching you right here.
I won't take a risk. Not right now.
Okay.
I might be able to help with that.
Just I noticed you all have this reaction, and so I do just want to kind of flag it. Not a lot of people call Candela Obscura the Keepers of Light.
I have.
Let me guess, is that an antiquated way of looking at it, or referring to it?
Most of you wouldn't know. Most of you wouldn't know. Just it's like you mostly don't hear that. And Aurora's kind of like looking over all of you, and at Pax. Thomas, you moron. Like what? 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 Like,
I can agree on that.
there's not really a point in pretending, I can see. We have been mostly honest with you, but there is a secret that we kept for a very good reason, and we're hoping to keep.
You've raided your mother's closet.
I think I know what is going on.
Me too, and it's brilliant.
Yeah. That's a really nice dress.
Thank you.
When did you get it?
60 years ago.
You don't look 60. Or older than that.
I am much older than that. I'm 175.
Looking quite good for it.
Thank you.
Good exfoliation.
How did you know something was wrong?
With all of you.
Yes.
You see, everyone has ties across all versions of life. And Paxton goes, and if Cyril is close by, which I'm imagining they're not far, and just like lightly touches the threads around Cyril, and I think they don't necessarily visually react, but there is just like it's almost like the air feels weird for a moment, like there's a micro rainstorm just about to manifest above you, but nothing really happens. But you are without those things. All of you.
Magic. That makes sense.
So how do you
ways that we don't recommend. They can be painful and life-threatening. We're what you
As
would
are most
call...
things.
We are part of an organization. We have to call ourselves the Unabridged. You are in our main organizational lodge right now. You can perhaps see why we were not keen on communicating with the officers of the periphery and letting in our secret to the OUP.
So y'all looking at us weird because a bunch of toddlers walked into your house?
Or because you're all dead and we're all alive?
Well, we're not dead.
Really?
Really. We just don't age anymore. We can still die. As,
obviously.
As Rupert found out, yes.
Rupert, that was his name.
Yes. He was a good man. Younger, by many of our terms, but not
Define
nearly as young
younger.
as... And she raps Thomas on the side of the skull. Not nearly as young as this one.
And how young is this one?
Oh, he's only a recent conversion. He's still in his, this is his first 10 years. We try to look out for each other once we turn because it can be isolating, living as long as we do.
You primarily keep yourselves a secret.
Yes.
Then how does one know to convert?
We usually approach them. Some people are aware of us. Records of us go through most of the history of New Fair and Old Fair. I trust you know of Empress Iomene, for example.
Zephyr does, Jen doesn't.
Yeah.
You all
I do.
would. Like,
Yeah.
it's Empress Iomene is well known as, like, one of the longest serving empresses of Old Fair. And it is widely suspected. And you all have also heard of the... I would expect most of you have probably heard of the Unabridged in some way, shape, or form. Probably not Al. Probably not Cyril. But the other two, you definitely would have heard of them. Mostly because packs of your research, and you as basically a lifelong Candellan would have heard. And more specifically, you actually kind of remember them from your Aunt Abby's notes. Because she did a lot of research into them. In fact, there is a piece that she wrote and showed you once. After Deep Breath, she showed you her treatise on the relationship between the Unabridged and Penumbrans. And as you are remembering that, you actually take a moment, Zephyr, and look down at the floor. And it's the thing that you didn't notice while you were with Thomas. Neither of them have a shadow.
I think when I notice that for the first time, I will wait until someone else says something to get their attention, and then I will catch Paxton's eyes and just briefly cast my eyes down at where their shadow should be.
I think without meaning to coordinate, Al is like, so that's why y'all dress like you're from ancient times. Or something, relatively brusque, giving Zephyr the opportunity.
Well, if you all made better fashion choices, I'd probably update.
I get with the times, you stick out like an old spy.
I like you.
Appreciate it.
We're not nervous because you're strangers, although we do like to go unnoticed. It's just... And she's looking at you, Zephyr, again. This is uncomfortable.
You may speak plainly. Heavens know I have spoken plainly in front of Mr. Cooper here.
I do not mean to offend. As you might notice, we abandon our shadows as part of our conversion. And therefore it does not go unnoticed to us when someone has too many.
I see. Unnoticed, certainly. Is it a cause for concern?
That would depend. Some of our members are more superstitious, which is an irony given what they are, but when we abandon our shadows, it's not really well known what becomes of them. Some believe they are returned to nothingness. Others believe they become something greater. Those of us who have been around for a longer period of time, they remember stories of shadows going to be a part of another person, unwilling to be abandoned. The legend of Dark Kin is well known to those of us who have been around a while. Those who treated it like some kind of bedtime monster, well, they're still afraid. some of us keep track of known Darkkin. There's only been one other new fair that I can remember in the last 40 years or so. She's long dead.
Who?
Was a woman of a well-born family in the Eves.
Just a little more elaboration. Names, as Zephyr might say, would be helpful.
Mostly forgotten. Her family was wiped out about a decade ago.
Mm.
We lost track of any semblance of what could have occurred to a shadow after that.
Paxton turns to walk away.
You will have to forgive my friend. He doesn't like it when we can't provide names.
Yeah, sometimes it's difficult,
Make a sway roll.
Oh, fucking fuck. What if I didn't?
You can provide an assist if you'd like to spend a drive, Cyril, on this one. The stakes on this are not like terribly high, but I do want to draw attention to the fact that Aurora is a very perceptive person.
Mm-hmm. And this is Sway?
This is sway, so you can burn a drive to give Zephyr another die.
I'll go ahead and do it.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I just get one die then. A plus. I would burn a drive, but actually, you know what? I am gonna burn a drive.
Okay.
I'm gonna burn. I have one drive left. I'm gonna
Burn that
burn it.
Yikes.
Okay, it's a 4.
It's a 4.
It's not
She
a
does not-
complete crash and burn.
No, it's a mixed success, and here's how I think this is going to be adjudicated. It's not that she believes you, because that would be absurd for a person of her sort of awareness. But I think she takes it as a sign not to pursue the matter, and she's going to let it go. And she just kind of looks after where Pax has gone. In any case, to my knowledge, and I'm certainly not the oldest one here, but to my knowledge, you may be the only one in New Fair right now. It is a bit like seeing a children's story.
Oh, how nice. Well, I assure you, my friend here is not a monster you would find under the bed.
I believe you. It's just odd. In the same way that I assume we are odd to you. Or maybe it's a hand of something greater. Fate. Maybe you were meant to be here. What is your name?
Mine, Zephyr.
Zephyr. Do you trust your friend?
I do.
Good. Sometimes we miss our own shadows. It's like not knowing about something until it's gone.
I want it known, Dan, that as we are, fucking around in this place, I am now going to be keeping an eye out to see if my shadow seems to be the passenger seems to be weirdly magnetized towards anyone.
Okay.
Because that'd be really fucking funny. Hey, I saw your shadow.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Okay. Aurora says, that's all our cards on the table. If there's anything else we can do for you here, please let us know.
Well, We need to know what it is that you need us to help with.
The murder, of course.
So that's
Right.
Someone-
all-
It's not that
just-
we're. I to put it on there as well. We die just like anyone else, just not from age or sickness. But we can be killed by normal means. We're not terribly super powered or anything like that. We just don't age.
It would help us to have access to the body. We're told it was moved to the morgue.
Yes, you'll need to head there. I unfortunately cannot secure you a passageway in.
How many of you exist within this house?
50 at least. Various ages. The large leader, he is probably the oldest among us. I would say maybe close to 1,000 years old at this point.
Do you trust that every single person in your coterie of individuals didn't betray you in some
Betray
form?
us? For what?
I have experience with shifty individuals, even in groups where people have some modicum of trust with one another. I think it's going to be important for us to potentially interrogate some people.
You have full access. Anyone you need to speak to. That much I
Were
can
all
promise
50
you.
members here on the day of the murder?
Suspect many of them would have gone home during the after hours. During the day of, prior, everyone would have been accounted for.
Do we know who the last person was to see this groundskeeper alive?
This I do not know.
When was the last time
You would
someone
have
saw
us-
him?
I'm sorry?
Roughly when was the last point of contact, and then went to the time the body was found? We need a time frame.
We would have the last person would have likely left between 8 and 9. We're not quite sure when the murder occurred overnight. We know Thomas here found him in the morning. I will provide a record for you of everyone who would have signed in that day.
Perfect.
Is there a way for you to easily get a message across to all of your members?
Enough. Would you like me to pass something to them?
More than likely to ask who was the last person to speak with Rupert.
Of course. We can inquire, and I will send them to you once I discover that answer. I suspect it will probably be the gate man.
As everyone is asking important questions and Pax calms down, he does start to just like look with his normal person eyes around the room,
Mhm.
looking for anything out of place. He's trying to look for. There's a certain air about old buildings, old money, people who
Mhm.
have kept things the same way forever, that he is trying to like key into to look for things that are changed, moved, out of sorts. Especially given how much help they have here. Things being out of place would be notable.
Make a survey roll for me.
Could I pitch it as a focus to inspect?
Tell me how you're pitching me focus here.
Like literally he's going around and like looking through the books that are here, trying to see if anything is like odd or out of place. He's looking at the the walls in the area. Like he's getting in pretty close because his eye is kind of fucked up. But that was kind of as far as that went.
Yeah, survey. Go ahead and make a survey for me.
Okay, it's a very different roll for me. This is not going to go well. It's fine. Yeah, that's one. No.
One.
I have
You're
nothing in sweat in survey. I only have
Yeah,
things-
you're like looking around. It's hard. I don't think you're used to this gap in your vision yet, and it's making it very difficult to try and get a sense of if there's anything out of place here. This architecture is beautiful and well maintained, but there's nothing that's standing out to you at this moment.
I think also just the familiarity of being around something so old and so wealthy has really put him on edge, and any hope of seeing through his new kind of blind spot in his vision is gone, because he is also just now practically grinding his teeth. 10 years ago, someone shadowkin, and just thinking on loop and getting more and more worked up.
Tell me broad scale what you all would like to do next, and then some stuff's gonna happen.
Ominous.
Don't worry about it.
And that some stuff is gonna happen.
Some stuff's gonna
Each
happen.
other. I think I would like to scope out the morgue at least, just to see if we can figure out a way to get in without having to go through various official channels.
I mean, you did hear Paxton say like he's worked here and is familiar, and
Yeah. Captain, I said yeah, not no. Fuck you. Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be at least beneficial to get to know the area a little bit. If they're willing to let Paxton kind of not show us around, but like, you know.
Yeah.
I think Al's gonna do some like basic detective work around here. Just like if this where the body was, access points, like ingress, egress. Like we know that the body was like crumpled, so likely something of supernatural because of all the context clues we have, but like any non like bleed or magic related signs that something was disturbed, signs of scuffle, etc. The usual forensics, I think.
Okay. And Cyril?
I think Cyril's gonna try going to talk to some of the people.
Okay. Very cool. Great. Here's what's going to happen. It sounds like we have a morgue team, a interview team, and an investigate team. Two of those teams are one person. And Aurora will go with you, Cyril, to guide you through interviewing. Thomas will take the morgue team to the gate and give you directions, and then come back in and supervise Al. All of which we will check in on. But first we're going to go elsewhere. We're going to go elsewhere for a minute. We find ourselves inside the fourth Pharos again. And we see Anran Song walking down the halls. His nose is splinted, no longer bleeding, but there's like a little thing across it. And he's got some papers under his arm as he's walking back to his office. And goes in and closes the door, and his hair is a little messed up versus like what it usually is, which is like, very well regimented, and he looks like there's like a darkness under his eyes that wasn't there the last time we saw him. And he's in his office. The fireplace is smoldering, but there's a little light from it. He goes over to his desk and he turns on a small lamp, pours himself a drink, and is looking over his papers. And he stops and he looks up. He stands up. I do not like sneaks. And there is a click, and a lamp turns on. And in the two chairs over by this, like, sitting table, there are two people. One of whom we see from the front. She has sunglasses on, and her blonde hair tied back in a weird little ponytail with the side shaven. As we see Viridian Lane sitting in the chair. And the second chair is currently back to Anran. And they stand up and turn around. Hands up. Like so, to the side. No. Hello? No, how you been? I don't like rudeness, Anran. You see Anran pause for a minute and look at her. Rose? He says with, like, a curious tone. And she smiles. She says, well, it's certainly been a while since I've been Rose Cargill. That's true. It's been a while since I've been Lily Hargrove, too. You may call me Violet nowadays. And the name recognition of Violet hits him, and he stiffens, and he sets his drink down on the desk. I see you are acquainted with my daughter-in-law. And she says, oh, this, not your daughter-in-law. A facsimile. One of my greatest experiments, actually. You would be so impressed with this creation. Of course, you long ago abandoned any path that wasn't soaked in blood and violence. And she's like she's mocking him now. She's like stepping around. And he just looks at her. It has been 50 years.
He's an unabridged.
You haven't aged a day. And she smiles. Takes a bow. Skincare. It's all the rage. Should have tried it. And we see his eyes dart from her face down to her feet.
Not an honor.
And back up. And she smiles as she sees that motion. She says, it's funny that you never once noticed. Isn't it? I mean, you would have thought all the time we spent together. He said, stop talking. She says, oh, but it's been so long. How's your wife? What was her name? Oh, no, I've forgotten. Oh, well. I understand you've got kids and a grandkid of your own now, don't you? It's charming. How time marches onward. What is it you want?
Yeah, what is it you want?
Violet. I discovered very recently I was being followed. I racked my brains trying to think of who could be pursuing me and why. I hadn't realized I'd made my way onto the roster of the Keepers of Light. Fascinating. So much time can go by and you're still so slow to the draw. But then I started putting some pieces together. It was a very fascinating collection you found, Anran. Especially understanding you didn't know you were doing it. Providence waves a hand, I suspect. Get to the point. All right. I can see that testing you is honestly still as fun as it's always been. A while ago, your little gang took one of my experiments. I understand you did something with it. I found traces of a ritual in a ruined lab. I take it that was also your doing. But it was only a partial piece, not all of it. Where is the rest of my subject kept, Anran? I would love to know. I would so very much like it back. I don't have the slightest clue what you could be speaking of. Poor liar, always have been. Most people are just too intimidated by your angry eyes to figure it out. You know, if you don't know, I suppose I could always have a conversation with that daughter. Bam! There was a gunshot. And we see that Anran has pulled out a revolver from underneath his desk. And we watch as the Viridian Lane in the chair crumples to the floor. He puts the gun back out at her. It feels like you never really knew me at all. Bam, bam! He empties another 2 shots into the Viridian Lane on the floor. I thought you would have known better than to threaten my family. Bam! Another shot. We see a close-up of Violet's face as a splatter of blood hits her cheeks, mixed with a little bit of ichor, and the look of shock on her face. And she blinks. So slow on the pickup. And we pull the camera back, and we see Violet is unharmed. We see a hand over the end of the gun. Her sunglasses now on the floor, her black sclera revealed this Viridian Lane up off the ground between Anran and Violet. Hand over the end of the revolver. Blood and ichor pouring from it. And her mouth open. And her gums this inky black. White teeth, but gums inky black. The look on Anran's face is one of revulsion at first. And then he snorts. As it should be, I suppose. There's another gunshot. Bam! And it fades to black. And that's where we're going to take our break. I can see some angry typing occurring. And while my players deal with the most recent trauma that I've dealt them, why doesn't everyone go hydrate? Get yourself a snack, some water, take a bio, and we'll see you on the other side of the break. Bye-bye. And welcome back. When we left the Circle of Seekers and Sinners just a moment ago, they were taking on a divide and conquer to solve the mystery of the murder in the Auric Lodge. Al was going to do regular detective work investigation at the scene of the crime. Cyril was going to speak with many of the unabridged members of the Auric Lodge. And Pax and Zephyr were headed to the Silverslip morgue to get a look at the body. Who wishes to begin our second half?
Let's roll initiative.
Let's roll initiative.
Oh my
Volunteer,
God.
not us, just so that I have a minute to rest my voice.
I got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
I'm going to
go
roll 10d6 for
I'm
Meteor
comfortable
Swarm.
going first.
How many d6 is it? 40d6
It's-
for Meteor
it's
Swarm?
40 d6 for Meteor Swarm.
Confession time, I've never used Meteor Swarm.
I'm
Oh, I
comfortable
have.
going first if.
Yeah. I'll go after
you want.
Cyril.
Okay, let's start with Cyril then. Cyril Thiggis. Sorry, I'm losing my brain.
Okay.
I went Archer instead of deeply serious stuff.
Wait, you have a brain?
No.
Aren't you resting?
We're doing so good, gang. Cyril. Aurora takes you to sort of call it like a fairly large study, honestly. There's like people working in there right now, and Aurora just kind of like hastily goes up to all of them and kind of like motions them to leave so you have the space to yourself, and then brings you a listing of all the people that were in or around the lodge yesterday. It's like probably like 20 or so who came through during the day yesterday, despite there being like 50 total people who are like around the lodge at any given moment. Like sometimes there's like ebbs and flows, and you know, unless there's like some kind of group forum meeting, like they're not all going to be here at any given time. And you go through the list, and most of these conversations are pretty regular. Like some of them appear to be a little nervous, some of them are just kind of like, I don't even fucking know what I'm doing here kind of shit. Eventually you're going to get to one guy. He looks to be probably in his early 40s. And Aurora introduces them as Ashton. He's got like there's stubble growing in, but mostly like is clean shaven. His hair is already like salt and peppering. And Aurora tells you it's like, this is actually our oldest member. Ashton has lived for I think 980, 90 years. Wealth of knowledge in and of his own right. And Ashton he's got a very large hand. He just kind of like holds it up and he's like, that's really not necessary. I'm just a guy. I live same as everybody else.
I feel you. I'm also just a guy. You know, as strange as this all is to me, we are still trying to understand what happened to Rupert. And so, how close were you with him?
He's been around a while. So I've known him for probably 100 years or so.
I see.
Nice guy, honestly. Do you really think someone here had anything to do with what happened to him?
I think it's safe to... I think it's safe to go through all the probabilities. Just completely clear it out.
Can't see much regular detective work these days. Periphery was willing to chalk it up to
You were
unsolvable.
part of the periphery?
No, but they were here briefly. They said, we can't figure it out, and they turfed it to OUP. OUP said, didn't happen. Real cute.
In the time that you knew Rupert, was he ever concerned about anything that stood out to you? Even if it was just an inkling of this is a little strange.
Around the lodge, not particularly. He, cared about upkeep more than a lot of people did. Part of the reason that the place is in as good condition as it's been, he took care of it. Everyone's different when they stop aging. How old are you?
How old do you think I am?
I mean, it's hard to tell anymore.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what it was like to be your age, I'd imagine. You're younger, I can tell that much.
I'm young, but I've had my fair share of difficulties growing up, so, experience ages you. Although I still think I have a little bit of growing to do.
Wise, too. I've seen people live for hundreds of years and never understand that.
Yeah.
You got any siblings?
I have one. Is that what it's like with the Anna Bridge?
What?
Is it just sort of like living with siblings? There's this connection that you all have to this intrinsic defiance of the laws of nature.
We're still bound by some of them. I mean, I can't fly,
I can't either.
One thing we have in common. No, I had a brother a real long time ago. He wasn't. He didn't become like us. I think about him still sometimes, but it's been centuries. It can be difficult, I can still remember what it was like to lose him. I don't feel like the rest of us are all that kind of relation. I'm sad when we lose someone, but it's not the same. There was still remember, leaving behind siblings, that's tough. And, I hope you never have to go through with that. Remember, a couple hundred years ago, there was one of us lost their sister. Never really was right after that. It's can be a lot,
Yeah. Moving away from this conversation, I find it kind of odd that with 50 of you, is it less than 50, more than 50?
I'd say probably around there in terms of like the ones who will come by.
It's just, with as many people in your group, it seems so strange that there's no strife, even if minor.
Well, they don't last.
Why?
I mean, that sounds ominous. It's not like, we put dissenters to death or anything like that. That's not who we are. But
Real quick, is Ashton at any point ever looking over Cyril's shoulder to Aurora?
no. They're
Okay.
locked in with you.
Okay.
No, I mean, there's like only there. He says like, but he's not actually saying like. He's 1,000 years old. This is a Dan vocal tick that I haven't been able to scrub.
That's okay.
There are a handful of people over my tenure who are forbidden from coming back inside the lodge. You know, we're a haven for our kind, but it's, you know, I'm sure there are more of us in the city. But if you're kicked out, you're not allowed in. That's how we maintain a kind of peace amongst ourselves. Agitators, you know, we have to maintain peace for a lot longer than a normal human lifespan. We can't have them around.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So you're the oldest person here. Do you have some sort of authority over folks, or is Aurora more so kind of a... Is there a hierarchy, I guess?
There are positions within elected positions.
Okay.
Aurora and I both hold council seats.
Are there... You're speaking up. I'm assuming that you would hold records of people who are unabridged.
Ones who have come through and joined us, yes.
What about the ones that are excommunicated?
Of course. There have been so few, I could probably just name them.
What are those names?
Let's see. About 800 years ago, there was Jamie Spencer. He was a bit obsessed with the idea of being superior. He liked to hunt and kill those who were not like us. He was banned from ever coming across, and I understand he didn't live much longer after that.
Dead.
There was Torin Gevney. He was older than me, I think. He remembered the eras of Old Fair. He was a fanatic of Iomene's. Or at least that's how he came across to me. He's banned from the lodge, but I don't know if he's still around or what he does. Then there's Iona. I take responsibility for her, at least in terms of bringing her in. She was like a daughter to me.
Do you
Her
have
sister
any...
passed
go
away
ahead.
before she turned. And she became obsessed with chasing shadows. She had this wild idea for reunification. What would happen if unabridged found their shadow again? Her medical and ethical boundaries blurred, and we had no choice but to throw her out.
Do you have any images of the two that you believe are still alive? Iona and Torin?
No recent photos of Torin. There might be a painting of Iona around somewhere. There weren't cameras when we threw her out.
Any paintings in here?
No,
In
I'll
the
take you up
lodge?
to my office. I keep one in there.
You said that you and Torin were closest in age.
Yes.
Were you around during the time of Old Fair?
Barely have real memory of my early years, but I think by the time I remember things, the vast chasm had already split the sea. Torin was far older than me. but such a gap. It's like no one, or maybe they all fell in the fall of Old Fair, or maybe there weren't that many. It's complicated. Life gets complicated when you live too long.
When you first joined, were there others before you?
We were much smaller then, but yes.
Is there records in here regarding Old Fair?
There's books in one of our libraries upstairs. I can take you to it to peruse.
If honestly, we can just get the books maybe gathered at a certain point. It's not for me.
Oh. What do you want Old Fair? What books on Old Fair for?
It's for one of my companions. He's really interested in it.
Your Shadowkin friend.
I won't mention who, but one of them studies it.
Make a low stakes sway roll for me.
Yeah, I've got a gilded die on that.
Okay.
That is a 5.
5. Mixed success. Aurora chimes in at this. You look after the lanky one, don't you?
I look after all of my companions. Cyril answers that way too quickly.
You hear Iona walk in. She pulls out a chair and sits down next to you. He's not Shadowkin, but he does the weave magic.
Yeah.
Did he tell you how?
Remember when I said I'm just a guy?
Both of them laugh at that. Both Aurora and they're both chuckling. Ashton is like,
I will be completely honest with you both. I don't care how it works. I don't care how things work for both of my companions who have a certain connection with all of this. One of them I owe my life to. And then the other one only just recently came into our life. There's nothing that to me differentiates them from just being people that are worth protecting.
that, I think, is a wonderful view to have. Would that more people thought like you?
I'm a pretty nasty guy when I want to be, so I don't think a lot of people want to think like me.
Ashton chimes in. Who among us hasn't done something horrible? Especially when they have something to protect.
Well, if we can go look at this picture of
course.
kind of see, get an idea.
Ashton looks at Aurora. Do you still need them for anything, or can I take them to see things? And she's like, no, we're not in any particular rush. A few more names on the list when you're done.
And Aurora, if, council seat, you've got some sort of power, if you can get some of those books. Might it be?
I'll see what I can
Appreciate it.
do.
Thanks. All right. Let's look at this painting.
He'll take you up to his office, but before we get to that, we're going to go ahead and pop over to Al doing regular detective work.
So regular.
So regular, Al. What are we doing here? You've got the velvet stanchioned crime scene.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing on like first glance stands out.
Yeah, again, I think I'm starting with like entrances and exits, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's assume for a second that like most of the sort of magical phenomena we've dealt with has had some sort of physical body that moves through space.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm just looking for what a potential flow of movement might look like to begin with, just to see if I can rule anything in or out. Notably, I'm trying to rule things out to narrow what our focus is.
Okay. Survey roll?
Yeah, I'm actually good at those.
Hey.
It's like
waka
my
waka.
one. It's my one non-punch skill. Oh no, I'm worse at it now because I don't smell anymore. Damn it! All right, regular roll. That's gonna be a 4.
4, mixed success. You're kind of poring over this area and you're like checking the windows nearby. I think you go down and spend some time at like any of the entrances or exits, and I think what you'll notice is there's no signs of breaking in, right? Which can be one of two conclusions, right? There's either some way to bypass it that you can't perceive, or someone could have just been able to walk in without breaking in. Those are the only two options based on what you see. Additionally, you don't see signs that the body was moved from, like, there's no signs of like additional cleaning or movement or anything like that. There's no scuff marks. It's just like whatever happened there happened there.
Right.
There is not a lot of evidence of that either.
Cause of death.
You would need to see the body to determine that.
Fair. It's like crumpled like a can, and that's like nothing that we have seen. Because from my very pleasant dreams, it's always like slicing, and
well, about that.
oh,
Well, because your memory of both like the attack on your unit and your dealings with the famish, like they weren't crumpled like cans, right? But they were like deflated, right? So it was weird.
Right.
You remember that. It's
right, and Mahala
but there's still
was...
like, yeah, Mahala was sucked into the ground.
Yeah.
She was like pulled away, and several members of the unit were like chopped to bits and ripped apart. But the thing about all the victims of the famish that you remember is that like they were physically intact. Like there were no wounds on them. They were physically intact. They were like whatever was pulled out of them was not physical. It was not a part of their body. It was not any of the things inside of them, physically inside of them. It was like the air was squeezed out of them.
Sound familiar with this?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Again, you'd probably know more seeing the body, but like the idea being like there was a wound, but there was no blood to be found at the scene.
Right. So, like, we're looking at like potential exsanguination or some other form of something being drawn out of a body, I think.
Yeah, nothing more I
And,
can really
like-
give you with a mixed success on that.
No, that's fine. And I think like also if there's no sign of like break-in, it means I think to Al, like someone who has current access to the place and knows that it exists. So I think as Cyril is interviewing people, I think some more information will pop up. But that's sort of where its mindset is right now. So like without seeing the body, is there, I guess like a more broad question then, is there anything I could scope out? Like, is there anything that catches my attention as I'm perusing, as I'm kind of pacing around a little bit? I think Al will also at some point look for a place to smoke a cigarette, but
Have a focus roll for me, Al.
now I can
Is
do
your-
this.
As you're putting together, like trying to put together pieces and like backtrack and trace and like figure out like what is about, like, go ahead.
Yeah, it's another 4.
It's another 4. You're thinking it's like, why was this the place where something happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple different options for that. But the one thing that you keep coming back to is it's like, what if the murder wasn't the point? Right? What if the murder happened because something else was they were trying to do something else to begin with?
Yeah, I think if that's what I'm floating around with, I think I'm going to posit that like maybe a different crime was the thing in process here. Like it's obviously not something like arson, but like robbery springs to mind.
And so with that, you'll check around like some of the rooms nearby. They're all like filled with bookshelves.
Yeah.
And
any gaps?
Yeah. In a smaller library with like a window in it. This one has like a single reading desk. It's a pretty small one. Most of the books in here look untouched. Like just generally, like they're a little dustier. Despite like the general like upkeep that you found in most of them, there's like a little more dust on a lot of books in here than most other places. It just like doesn't feel like people read the books in here very often. As you're looking at them, you realize you can't really read most of the books in here either, because whatever language they are in, you don't know.
So I'm assuming, is it safe to assume something like Old Fair related, right?
That is a reasonable guess, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how many languages Al knows. Like, you had a middle class upbringing, but we're military, so you might like speak a language or two.
Yeah, but it'd be like the sort of like courtesy French, that like that like Europeans would speak because it was posh.
Yeah, and you don't see like languages that you recognize the writing of.
All right. Dust disturbance. Any notable disturbances of dust? If this is a dusty room.
There's like a place where like two books are like kind of leaning against each other.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like you could probably fit a book in between them, and there's like a dust mark of pulling. But you almost wouldn't notice it at first because of just like there's so many books crammed in this shelf, and they've like expanded outward over the years. So when this book was taken out, it kind of like filled the gap a little bit. So now that just like looks like it's all loose in there, but you see the dust mark.
Great. I will note that to bring someone who can read this back here.
Yeah. And
I think that's pretty much as I can ascertain at the moment.
Let's go to the morgue.
I think, unfortunately for Zephyr is treated to a walking tour of Silverslip by someone who clearly loves this district.
I think that's okay with them. They are a very I like to know things person. And they will pretty much just occasionally ask a clarifying question, but mostly just let Paxton take the lead.
And this place just makes the most incredible fresh bread to die for.
Do you want to stop and get some?
Maybe after, if I still have an appetite. Ugh, I hate the morgue.
Right, buddies.
Yes.
I will
But
do any
necessary.
that is necessary.
Yes, my old home wasn't far from here.
Difficult memories then.
And good ones. Some of the best. And he takes a flask out of his pocket and keeps walking.
Fucking typical.
Fresh smell of gin cuts through just the cologne, just the slightest amount. As you make your way through the beautiful streets of Silverslip. And you eventually end up at the morgue. A plain, nondescript building. you enter in the front door and simple receptionist inside. You look very unenthused to be there. Help you?
Hello. I'm on a bit of a goose chase. But I hope that you could help.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was recently brought here, and I have to do the unfortunate honors of certifying for someone that their body is actually here.
Sway roll.
Yeah. Sway? This might be the
Sway.
first time I've rolled sway in this game. It's so
I
nice.
believe in you. I believe in you.
I'm gonna burn a drive. I want to look
Okay.
cool, damn it.
Swagging on it? Okay.
Yeah, and I've got gilded on this. Let's go.
God, we went in such different directions with our characters.
Yep. I will take that 4 on my gilded.
4 on your gilded? They just sigh. It's like, reach below the desk, like grabs, like ruffle around and putting out, boom, slam this large stack of paperwork on it. It's like, you're gonna need to fill these out. I need signatures here, 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 and like they flip through, and it's like, and I also need your referring, your case number, and I will need your license number here, and then you'll need to fill these out. Sign here as well. And this, like, it's like 20 fucking pages. It's huge.
Ugh. This is why I used to bring Julie into this. Yeah, he takes it. Ed is gonna, yes, please, save me.
Is there a way that perhaps I can catch a glimpse of any other cases on the desk and steal like any kind of like numbers and certifications from them?
Oh, spicy. Okay. Yeah, why not? What would this be? I want to say hide. Let me make sure that's the right roll type. My brain is telling me that I want you to make a hide roll. I'm gonna double check that.
I would like to pretty please ask for like a focus or something, but I will take whatever I must take.
Yeah, I thought you might ask for that. Hold on.
Inspect, analyze, remember.
That's cute and all, but you're trying to get information you don't have from something you don't have real access to. I'm gonna need you to. Yeah, this is a hide roll.
Oh, fine. I will go ahead and burn a drive on it.
Okay.
To get an extra die because I want this to work.
Aren't you guys so glad that you took away a point in each of these things the last time you got a scar?
I'm so thrilled.
You know what?
Thank you, Dan.
It's going great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm so fucking thrilled. Okay, we're
I
gonna
can
add a
tell.
drive. Okay, it's a 5.
A 5. Okay. You are going to succeed at getting what you want here. I think the trade-off, because the trade-off for Pax's 4 is this is the amount of paperwork before this they're going to let you in. I think the failure here is that, or like the trade-off for your mixed success is this is going to take a while for you. Like it's you don't get it all in one go, and you've got like this is uncomfortable for you to like do, but it's like piecemeal, and you keep like fishing out things that you like can verify. Whatever the consequence is of that, we'll worry about that later. But it is a time
Concerning,
cost.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Eventually, like, it takes you probably, I would say, like, an hour to get this done.
Jesus.
Yeah, this is the cost. It takes you an hour to get this done, but, like, eventually you turn in this, like, forged paperwork, and he just, like, takes
Beautiful
it and files
penmanship.
it.
Immaculate penmanship. Full of lies.
I would actually feel like the orderly looks at it for a second. It's like, damn, good writing. You see it cross his mind for a second that no doctor has ever written that well for him.
No.
And he just puts it away. It just does not care. Does not care. Not paid enough to do this. And he sets it down. And he like puts up like a little like "be right back" sign, and takes you go to this like sort of like cage door at the end, unlocks it, and like welcomes you in.
Wonderful.
All right, come on. Ain't got all day.
Ugh. And like dragging his corpse into this room, Bastion makes it inside.
Yeah, it's cold in the morgue, and he's going to go to one of the drawers, takes a key from his belt, and unlocks it, pulls it open, pulls out the body. There's no smell. It's cold in here. Says, "Oh yeah," he like pulls back the sheet, and you see a very pale corpse, and it is. The description of a crushed can is pretty accurate. It's like they've been squeezed until nothing is inside them. And there is
like a towel.
Kind of, yeah. Like their bone structure is still there, right? But it's like their skin has been pulled so tight against their bones. And the skin is like extremely pale, like blanched white. And on like the right up here, like where the shoulder meets the neck, there is this like chunk that is just missing. It's got like jagged edges around the wound. Like this was a weird one. I assume they called you in because they didn't know what to put on the cause.
Yes, where's the rest of him?
Chunk.
Yeah, don't got a stomach for this. I mean, this was the way it was delivered.
The missing piece then was not delivered with it.
I mean, no. I guess not. No.
Fluids? Anything?
None. Real light. And you see he actually like reaches beneath the body and just kind of like pops it up a little bit, and it kind of like flops really easily. You're like,
what a sentence.
So really,
Yeah.
There's no weight to this real weird one.
Any personal effects?
Let me see. I'll go check. Y'all can start here.
Thank
And
you.
Shuffles back out to a different office in the back.
The moment that he leaves, Paxton turns around and just like puts his hands on his knees and just takes a deep breath.
And I'll just kind of like mutter quietly. I can take a look and see if I can figure out what happened there.
I just need a second, and then I can look. I'll look.
Okay. If you're studying the body, focus or survey roll.
I'll take a
choice.
focus, please.
And if one of you wants to assist, burn a drive to add an extra die.
Hey Kai, how's your survey and focus?
My focus is real decent.
Real decent.
Real
Plus.
It's fine. I will give you a drive.
Thank you. Yeah, like cards on the table, I am sitting on a 2 in focus with Gilded.
Yeah, have at. I mean, Paxton's also like trying to gather himself and is just more interested in like
He's having
not
a
looking
day.
super closely at the body with his person eyes. So Godspeed to you.
Of course. Okay. So that is a 6.
That is a 6.
And that is a 6 thanks to Paxton's die.
Nice. I mean, this in the same way that like the way that Al has been getting the sense when you see it, it does remind you of like the famished victims in some ways, but like to an extreme level, right? you see the same kind of like vacuum sort of like vibes, but also something is physically missing from them. Like they are the wound itself, like, is very odd. It's not just like the way that it's shaped taken out, like it looks like all of the blood has been pulled from the body amongst everything else. And as you're like going over the body, because I think, Zephyr, I don't think bodies bother you like at all, right?
I was found in a nest of them.
This is a nest.
You get to the nails, and you're like looking underneath the nails, and there's like some hairs under there. Some like you pull out like a mid-length like blondish hair.
What is that?
So, okay. I will like very carefully hold it up to the light. This is a mid-length blondish hair.
I'm gonna fight you.
Also, question: can I tell if the chunk out of the neck was taken post-mortem, or if it was like cause of death?
You got a full success. I'll give it to you. I'm gonna it pre-mortem.
Okay.
Likely this wound was part of the cause of death. Likely where they exsanguinated from. But then, like, you think about it, and the size of the wound doesn't make sense. Like, if this wound was taken out of them in the place where that like you investigated, why was there no blood there?
Right, exactly. It appears that our friend the groundskeeper has left us a clue.
This all seems complicated.
Unfortunately, plenty of people have hair of this color and length. One of my aunts has hair of this color and length.
Yes.
It's not much, but maybe it'll help us narrow down something. Maybe combined with whatever was found on him at the time.
Which the attendant comes back and he's just like, there's not really much of anything. Like, here's this wallet, some keys.
Paxton takes those, desperate for literally anything.
Oh, okay.
Just starts like thumbing through them. I don't think he's just kind of
yeah,
unceremoniously searching.
They're pretty old keys. Wrought iron. Good condition though.
May we return these to their the original owners?
You signed out for it earlier, yeah.
Thank you. Oh, this poor fucker this poor fucker whose IDs we used.
If that's all,
any how are the vibes?
would you like to make a sense roll, or would you? Are you trying to get like real world vibes?
Oh no, I would like to make a sense roll.
Yeah, go ahead, make a sense roll.
Deeply curious. I'm just curious, especially because this person, if correct, should not have really any bleed around him.
Go ahead.
Why are you laughing?
Because that's a 1, a 1, and a 2. So I'm gonna do the gilded 1.
Okay.
And get a drive back. And
Zephyr,
I guess I'll go fuck myself.
Zephyr, you try and like reach to sense this body, and as you like try and like get a vibe for it, there's like this jarring sensation inside you. Like you come into contact with the skin, and like this time as you're touching like the body, the passenger was there with you, and this time there's like a sizzle and you feel this sharpness in your hand like a burn. I need you to take 2 bleed.
I am going to I'm gonna use a ward to soak 1.
Okay. And you cannot tell whether that came from the body or from somewhere else.
Okay. And externally, Paxton, you watch as Zephyr kind of reaches out to touch the body and then
Right.
I know it's gross, right? The skin feels so weird.
I kind of like glance at this attendant and then just kind of like go to like rub my head a little bit while making like very distinctive eye contact with Pax.
Oh, I believe we're finished here. I believe we have some business to attend to. Thank you very much.
I'll take you out front, and he like slides the body back in and closes it pretty non-ceremoniously and escorts you back out.
And Paxton waits until we're outside before turning to Zephyr. What was that?
It burned a little when I touched it.
It was a cold, dead body.
Well, yes, but it burned. I don't.
Hold still. And Paxton is going to grab Zephyr by the shoulders and then use his freaky sight to try and see what's going on with them.
Why don't you make a
that's
sense
my
roll
freak.
for me? There's a lot.
A
There's a
what?
couple different ways. The sense roll. There's a couple different ways this one
Yeah.
could go.
Yeah. I'm familiar with this phenomenon, yes?
I would say so.
Okay, would you say that it would be fair for me to extend my senses?
I'll allow it. I'll allow it this time.
If you would like an assist, I don't know if I'm
No.
able to, but
It's a 5.
A 5. You reach in, and the threads inside Zephyr and the passenger, as the passenger comes into focus, they're a little in disarray right now. Like they're kind of vibrating like guitar strings. And what's interesting is you see just a very the chaos doesn't seem to be isolated at Zephyr's hand. It's like what you can tell is that it actually doesn't look like that's the point of real contact of whatever caused it. You can't quite tell where or what did, but something is like off, but it was not. You can at least determine that it was not from the actual touch.
It's almost as if someone plucked you from the universe for a moment there.
you know what it was?
I can't tell. I can only see them, which is wonderful and very useful, but it doesn't lead to many answers. Just more questions.
But you said there was nothing around those people.
Yes, and that is strange and terrible. It's like,
So how could how could something on him interact with my pluckers?
Paxton and kind of blinks, and you can tell even behind the sunglasses, like he's coming back to seeing like a person. I don't know that the two are necessarily intertwined, though. You know, it's like being down in the devil's well. It doesn't feel good to have your connection altered. changed. It feels bad.
It couldn't be some sort of... It couldn't be some sort of failsafe, could it?
Maybe.
Something to alert whoever did this that we're onto them?
Possibly, though, I think if they're smart, they figure someone is looking after this anyways, since they left a dead body behind.
Right.
Squeezed like a juice box. Ugh.
Blood-free, missing a chunk. But at least we have hair.
Yes, that hair we should look a lot closer at.
And I feel like we definitely got it like wrapped up in some sort of like some cloth or a vial or something. We're professionals.
In a sense. In the interest of time, I'm going to speed you along back to the manor. And
We stop for
reunite all
bread.
of You stop for bread. It's delicious. Pax was totally telling the truth. You make it
bring
back to the
some to share with
manor.
the class.
Cyril, we're gonna bring everyone to the office that you're in, where Ashton has taken you and shown you a painting. He's clearly in it, and there are two women, and he's kind of like standing by them, like fatherly. The two women look very similar to each other. Maybe like you'd guess based on his height and the height comparison to the painting, I'd say like 5'5", 5'6", if I had to take a guess. And again, their features are very similar. They have dark hair. It's like medium length. Both of them painted with these kind of features with sharper cheekbones. Yeah.
Cyril never saw Violet's face in the videos from Deep Breath.
The
Right.
videos did not show Violet's face.
No. Has anyone seen Violet's face from our group? I know Al had been chasing after her.
Al didn't find her. I've
Been trying to find, because when Deep Breath ended, that's one of the things that Al mentioned.
Yeah, Al went to
It
find her
had
and
to
wasn't
do
able to.
Yeah.
I would say that is a question that you would need to ask them to try and remember the others. But you, Cyril, definitely have not. And the others are actually, we're going to go ahead and bring you into this office not long after you get to look at this photo, and you pool your information together.
Become bearing hair.
Yeah.
Which one's?
And I think.
Which one's Iona?
This one points to one on the left. This was her twin.
Twins. Rough.
Rowan was a sweet girl. She got sick, died, and Iona didn't know what to do, so I thought if I could give her something to be a part of, it would help. And I invited her to join us, but as time wore on, it became clear that whatever happened fueled some kind of sick delusion. She didn't see people as anything other than objects. And everything was for the reconstitution theory. Frankly, insanity.
She doesn't look familiar to me.
I'll go ahead now and give Pax and Al focus rolls.
Afraid. Me, afraid. I'm so scared.
Me,
I'm going to
dauntless.
spend a drive.
I'm also going to spend a drive. Huh. Well, that is a 1 and a 6, so I will take the 6.
And a
Four
4.
on my gilded.
Pax, you could swear something about them looks familiar. You don't know why. Like it's like one of those things where it's on the tip of your tongue, but you can't figure out what it is about them. It's enough that it stands out to you as not just some like passing stranger. Like you're pretty sure you've seen this person before.
And he
Al,
fully
it-
like walks up to it and lowers his glasses to stare.
Yeah. Al, you wouldn't forget the face of the woman that was amongst the scientific team handing out
It's like that adjuvant.
yeah. Even in painted detail, it's very hard to forget her.
Yeah.
Especially since you've learned what you've learned.
Al is just gonna actually say something this time, not keep it to itself. Al will say,
Growth!
just
It
very
happened.
an arc. We have an arc, everyone. It's just I think very quietly, almost under their breath, Al just goes, "I know her."
From where?
My time with the Longsworth Bears. She was with a team of scientists handing out some drug that we were supposed to use. And above table, I don't think Al has connected that was adjuvant, right? I think that was sort of outside of Al's hearing range or something at the time.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
I think you are at least like when adjuvant was first brought up, like you kind of remembered like the same moment of like being
Right.
given a drug that was like meant to suppress bleed.
Yeah.
So I think Al is like smart enough to put the two together.
Cool. Thank you. Because John isn't always. So yeah, Al will say like, it's like early phase testing of adjuvant, a bleed suppressant. Yeah. So that sure is her. It's probably our Dr. Boucher.
Dr.
That
Boucher of Eons?
You
I'll
know
look
her.
over at Bruh.
There's a reputation. I never saw her in person.
Yes, you have.
That is the worst place for her to be.
Given, what did you say to Cyril before? A lack of moral and ethics? Seems like.
Obsessed with chasing shadows, wanting to know what would happen if an unabridged returned to its shadow.
Seems like just the perfect kind of fucked up place for someone like her to be.
I bear a responsibility, I fear.
Well, at least now we have a face of who we're chasing after.
May I ask you a selfish favor?
You can always ask.
Yo. Yeah.
I feel like Zephyr and Al actually fist bump.
Yeah, just like a quiet, like.
Quick little.
Please. Kill her.
I think for the first time, probably since we went down to the Devil's Well, Al smiles.
Thank you. I don't deserve the favor, but
I think our interests are aligned with this one.
Honestly, I'm not doing it for you.
Ashton's face, is very clouded, but he nods like he understands. I think there's just a sorrow on his face.
I'm gonna offer him a cigarette.
I'll take it. Do you have a light?
Cyril pulls
Light
out
it.
their lighter.
Yeah. We'll both light it on Cyril's lighter.
No one ever wants to learn that they've had a monster in their house.
No.
So, this Dr. Boucher, this Iona, was here before? I'm gonna,
We threw her out.
Yeah, I'm gonna lead them back over to the small library with a gap in the books and being like, so, this is missing, and I don't know what the fuck this is, but...
I would...
Dust disturbance.
Let me see. Odd. It's a book of myths, or was.
Like shadow chasing myths?
The only one that would be relevant would be Iomene's Bane.
Like the Empress?
Yes.
The one rumored to be an unabridged? That Empress Iomene?
Yes. Although the myth would have it that Iomene was not unabridged in the traditional sense. We become what we are via alchemical means. There is as much magic as there is science in our creation and our longevity. Iomene's Bane tells the story of the good Empress Iomene early in her reign, and how she became undying. Not an unabridged, but an undying.
But then she vanished.
Well, yes. The legend tells the story of how she found a door to nowhere. A portal, literally, in the middle of nothing. She passed through it. And, in doing so, came back without her shadow. But that shadow wasn't gone. When a superstition has it, or at least, in gestures to Zephyr, some truth, that when a person is separated from their shadow, it continues to live on to begin with. But there are also theories. What is a shadow but a reflection? A shadow of a person who might be of questionable moral character might turn out a good shadow. But a shadow of a person of such pure moral content as the Empress created a dark monster. Iomene's Bane. It terrorized many of the people of the area surrounding Old Fair until finally was trapped within a sarcophagus. It is one that is... There is fact in its existence. It has been seen and logged, though its current location is unknown. It hasn't been seen in a few hundred years, but a a dark obsidian sarcophagus. Legends refer to it as the Anatithani. Legends say that Iomene's Bane was trapped inside it. Others think that Iomene herself was placed inside it, and she lives in there still today. The truth is unclear, or if it is all simply myth.
And the door. Where was the door?
Unclear as well. The door itself doesn't bear much historical weight. It seems to be a metaphor of sorts for what one leaves behind.
It is notable that Paxton is like cartoonishly looking at the ground at his feet, looking for a shadow.
You've got one.
Good.
Hey, I've got two. Well, a really dark one.
Speaking of, Zephyr,
Oh no.
there's a voice in your head. Zephyr Green. Something is wrong. The chapter house.
Oh boy.
We have to go now.
We have to go.
And Zephyr's
No.
Zephyr's gone. Zephyr's out the door.
And we're running after. Is it faster to go by gilded carriage, or should we hail a cab?
It's probably better to hail a cab.
Right.
You do, and there's this sense of dread building inside your head, Zephyr. This pull is very weird. It's not like the hook. It's like a yearning. It's like a desire to be at the house.
Hey, I'm concerned.
You arrive at the guild, or the chapter house. And there are a large number of periphery standing outside. And you get out of the car, and you see your Aunt Amaris looking like she is fighting with several of them. Because Viridian Lane is in handcuffs, and they are trying to put her into a patrol car.
I'm gonna run up. Aunt Amaris, what happened? What's going on?
Don't. There's been.
What?
It's look at me. Look at me, Zephyr. Your grandfather is dead.
What?
Your grandfather is.
What? They think she did it?
There was a report of Viridian and another woman entering. Candela made note of it, the passage, and they passed it along to the OUP, and this is being handled now by the periphery.
Well, she wouldn't.
I know. Zephyr, I know. They have almost forced Viridian into the car. And she, just looks out at you. You see her make eye contact with you, Zephyr. And there's, a little bit of fear in her eyes. And you see her look at Amaris. And you see her smile. And then she's put into the back of the car, and the door slams.
Amaris is gonna have to hold Zephyr back because Zephyr's gonna try to get over
She
there.
wraps her arms around you from behind. She's like, "Child,
They can't.
I
But
know.
she didn't do anything.
I know. This will get sorted in the end, but right now, something is wrong." They were waiting for us here. Right now, Candela is not safe for you. You all need to go.
What about you?
I'll be fine. I will try and figure out how to get your
No,
aunt.
if they took her, they might try and take you too.
Listen to me. They might. They can try. We will come back to you. I promise.
It's not gonna stick. We're gonna make sure it's not gonna stick.
There's that fear in her eyes as well. You have a little time. Gather whatever you need from inside. Try and find another safe place that isn't connected to Candela.
I know, please.
Okay.
I have some. How? How did he die?
Shot. Other Candela members heard Viridian's threat the other day. If they'd given it 2 seconds of thought, they'd probably have realized that she's not the type to shoot.
No, she
They're scared. They're scared. And the Circle of Lightkeepers are looking for blood. They won't touch me. But Viridian? You?
Stall them. Stall them. We'll figure out what happened.
She kisses you on the forehead and stands back up and like wipes away like tears from her good eye. Good luck. And she runs off. You have a moment to gather your things from inside. What are you getting?
The picture and the cats.
Okay. Anyone else?
Paxton goes upstairs and grabs as much as he can off of his murder board.
Okay.
And I think unceremoniously shoves them into the same bag that they arrived in. He doesn't actually have much. So.
Cyril, Al?
Sorry, my alarm is going off apparently. But I'm gonna grab the weapons, and I think Al has a go bag ready to go, like, and probably always has. But it's mostly like a couple bottles of booze and like guns.
Al. Or sorry, Cyril.
And Cyril does rest comfortably in the chapter house, but I think a lot of their belongings, like personal stuff, would probably be at the Red Lamp.
Okay. You guys gather your things. And Zephyr, as you pick up the photo, like getting the cats into like any sort of herdable, like Rhyme and Reason are pretty reasonable cats, ironically. And they like seem to understand that they need to go with you. They're intelligent kitties. But you pick up the photo, and as you do, it's heavier than you remember. And as you look on the back of it, there is an a device you haven't seen in a minute. A little portable phonograph with a disc already inside. And this particular version has a tiny little screen on it.
I'm just gonna tuck that in because she said there was very little time, so we'll just play it when we get to wherever Cyril's taking us.
Okay. Cyril, where are you taking them?
I'm taking them to the Red Lamp.
Okay. For speed of things, we are going to get you over to the Red Lamp. Carlisle.
We're not going in
Okay.
through the front door.
Okay.
It's all cloak and dagger through the back. Essentially, yeah.
Carlisle's smart enough to handle this in the manner like you've worked this out for a long time. You've had bolts ready to go. And you are up in Carlisle's dressing room. He's sitting there, and he's got his arm around you. Cyril.
Hi, everyone. This is my brother, Carlisle.
Hi.
And for those who has not met Carlisle, beautiful individual.
Ethereally beautiful man.
Questioning how it is that Cyril and Carlisle are related.
Fun fact to note that we can't really dive into now is that Pax, you recognize Carlisle, and Carlisle does in fact recognize.
Later.
Yeah, Carlisle does in fact
later.
also recognize you, and that look is not missed. What are we doing? You've got the little phonograph.
I'm just going to pull it out. Someone left this for me. And I'm going to play it.
Great. Are you all tuned into the stream?
Yes.
Can be. Yeah.
Please do that.
Okay.
And Joe, give us a second, and then we're going to queue up the thing.
Love the thing.
All good?
Hacker voice. I'm in.
I'm not, but go ahead, start it.
Give it a second. Players, we good?
I'm in an ad roll.
Unlucky. I think in the moment we'll just
catch on the VOD.
We'll just go ahead and point out that like Carlisle is like looking at you like almost with this like pitying look. Pax is just like, ooh.
Pax looks like he's about to throw up constantly right now.
Like you look
so he's
worse.
Yeah, he's bad, and he acknowledges Carlisle, but kind of won't look at him even through the sunglasses. It's just like, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't. I'm in.
Joe, hit the video.
I know what Violet wants. It's time to end this nightmare.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Hey, Dan, what the fuck?
Thank you all for watching the start of our new arc of the Circle of Seekers and Sinners. We will be back not next week because PAX U is happening. We will see you 2 weeks from now with special guest star Ruby Hart as Professor Abigail Davies.
I'm so glad I got the fucking
thanks,
cats.
everybody.
You asked me
She would have fucking killed me if I'd left the cats.
Night night.
God.